Yep. Good evening, everyone. So, yesterday we discussed about what is the concept of hooks. So, today we will see how to use different hooks and work with them. And one concept we already learned is what is a hook and how it works. So, yesterday we discussed about what is service. So, because hook is a service, so service comprises of I discussed about value functions are into factories. The factory is into service. Services are injected into components. Service usually will have a consumer. Service will have a provider. So major, we have a consumer, provider, injector, subscriber like this. So service uses a mechanism called DI. DI is what? Dependency injection. Services use this mechanism. So we discussed that in React, hooks are services. Means they are already built in with some logic. We have to customize, implement according to requirements. That is the main concept of service. Now we have to see how to build our own service. That means we are going to learn custom hooks. So in React projects, when you are working in real time environment, one main concept you will see is so many hooks you will come across which you never learned in React. So what is the reason? Because those all hooks are custom built according to their requirements, they build their hooks. General traditional hooks available with React, we will usually know about them. We can Google, we can get help about them. But some hooks, even you search on Google or ask any AI tool, they can't help you because they are not found anywhere outside. They are built and used by certain people according to their requirements in projects. So, how to build custom hooks? What are the basic rules? We will see that. So, actually, first point, what is a hook technically? You know that. So, hook is a function. So, technically, hook is a function. So, that is the first basic thing we should know. So, you are dealing with hooks means you are dealing with a function. Now, in React, we have to follow certain rules for this. They have some rules. What is it is so hook function, uh, hook function name must start with use and must be in camel case. It must be in camel case. Hook function name must start with use. That is the prefix. So, and it must be in camel case. It must be in camel case. Camel case, starts with a lower case, will have one uppercase. that is mandatory. So whenever you define a function, so whenever you are creating a hook, so use prefix is compulsory, mandatory. And any some like captcha, something like this we are writing. This is one important point. That is the first rule. So hook is technically a function, and this function must start with use prefix and must be in camel case. Another important rule here is the hook function cannot be void. It must return some result. It must return something. It may be a value or a function. It cannot be void type. Why? Because for what purpose you are using hook to return some functionality. Then if it is void, how it will return? That means can a function return function? Yes. A function can return function, a function can return value. So, so hook function cannot be void type. It must return a value or function. It must return a value or function. It cannot be void type. So you cannot define void type. So when you define a function, so this must return some value or function. It must return a value or function. It cannot be void type. And it can be parameterless or parameterized. It can be parameterless or parameterized. It can be parameterless or parameterized. In JavaScript, you know, if it is parameterized, then it is mandatory to pass parameters. It is mandatory to pass relative arguments. If it is parameterized, so it is mandatory to pass relative arguments. And you know that JavaScript functions can have multiple parameters, REST parameters, spread operations. They can use any. So it can be parameterless or parameterized. So you can have a function. So use captcha. It can have some code or something. And it can return some value or function. It can be parameterized or parameterless. Right. Next important point about hook is this is about configuring hook. And you know, I don't need to explain function basics. Function related, so many things you already know. Can we have multiple return? Yes, we can have multiple return. You already learned conditional rendering now. Conditional rendering can return different. According to the situation, it can return. So all your JavaScript function concepts will be similar, right? So it can return any type of data. So primitive, non-primitives. So they all are same things. They all are same. What is another rule? How to use these functions? Configuring is this. How to use the function is you cannot access and use a hook. You cannot access and use a hook inside any block. You cannot access and use a hook inside any block. You can use only in component in React component block or custom hook block. Custom hook block. You cannot access and use a hook inside any block. You can use only inside React component blocks or a custom hook blocks. That means, for example, we have a if condition. If condition is matching, we have a constant user set user is equal to what it is, use state, some name you defined. This is invalid. You cannot configure access any hook inside any block. If condition, while loops, for loops, maps, anywhere you cannot access. So can I can I access in a function block? This is component block now. In a component block, we can access. In a component block, we said constant user, set user. Like this, you define use state. So something you define. So this is valid. This is valid. Suppose you return anything like function, handle, submit, click. On submit click, you are defining a constant user, set user, and is equal to use state. So this is again invalid. That is also a function, but it is not valid. Why? Because it is not a React component block or a hook block. It is a general handler block. And you cannot access anywhere in other functions. You can access only inside the component or only inside the hooks. So you cannot access in any another function. That means in two functions you can access. In two function blocks you can access. One component function block, another one is a hook function block. So for example, so you are writing a function like use capture. So in this you are configuring a constant user set user is equal to use state, and here you can access. This is valid. Why it is not valid in submit, and why it is valid in our, so why it is valid in handle submit, not valid in handle submit? Because it's not a React function related to component or hook. Only React component blocks and only in React hook blocks you can access them. Anywhere else, it is not valid. I hope you understood the differences. Huh? What is this one? This is actually component now. It is component. And what is this one? This is an hook. You can access in component and you can access in a hook. You can access in components and hooks. You cannot access in other locations. So in any nested blocks, in any if condition, while loop, for loop, map, anywhere you are trying to call the hook, it will not work. So make sure it is at high level only. So you can't access and use hook inside any blocks. Okay. And what is the key point is it is parameterized, then you must pass the parameters. So otherwise you can leave it. So another point is it is mandatory to call a hook with exactly specified arguments. Call a hook with exactly specified arguments. It must match with argument type, data type, and order. Order is also important and data type is also important. What type of data it is expecting, you have to send the same. What type of arguments it is expecting, you can. And important, a custom hook can use React hooks. A custom hook can use all React hooks. React hooks means React built-in hooks. A custom hook can use all React built-in hooks. Means in a hook, we want to access data. Then you can use Axios in it. So in a hook, you want to design a form, you can use formic in it. So you can use state. In a hook, you can use hooks. But in other normal functions, you cannot use the hooks, right? So these are all the important basic points. Earlier, the name of hook doesn't matter, but from latest versions means so many years, they made this mandatory that hooks should start with use. That is very important. Now, recently in React 19, they have introduced a use API, which I will later explain, that allows you to do more manipulations with hooks, but it is still under experimental. It is in alpha only. That means it requires more confirmation from the React team and we need more clarity about it. They just added it, but we need to just wait and see whether it is suitable for every situation or not. It's still in alpha beta releases, right? I will explain, I will show you. But these are all the basic rules of creating a hook, right? Let's see how we can use them, how we can define. So, and very important is, as I told you, fallback mechanism is important. Suppose if I say I written a if condition in that I'm using use effect, this is also not recommended. Suppose you are writing an if condition If condition is matching, then you want use effect or something to use. It's not recommended. So that means you have to use them in the outer level, higher level of your component, not inside the blocks. Inside the blocks. Huh? Okay. Let's see how to build it, how we can build and how we can use. Okay. So one first basic point I will show you. So we are having our projects. Now we will start here npm run API, npm run dev. Okay. Now we want to, first we will see how we can create custom hooks. For example, just roughly, I want a random code like captcha in every login screen. Login, register, everywhere I want that. Roughly. So what we will do, let's go to the project. In this project, we will go to src folder. In src folder, already we have components, controlled components and all. I will add a folder called hooks. We will maintain hooks in a separate folder. And I'm giving a file. So use captcha.jsx. There are no rules for naming file. You can give any name. But basic common rule is means don't use any spaces, special characters in names. Always prefer using an underscore or an hyphen for name. Lengthy if it is lengthy. So this is the name. Okay. Now inside this, we need to create what is hook. Hook is a function, export function. And this function should be, what is it? So the function should be having use prefix and any name, capture. And basic rule is avoid using already existing names. Obviously, it is affected. So if you say use state, already there is a use state, then it will have conflicts. Ambiguous issue will come. And always we prefer better use a declaration, not expressions. Why? Because declaration allows hoisting, in general JavaScript. That means we are not sure where we will use them. Any order we can use them. So if you put an expression, the problem with the expression is expression will not support hoisting. You already learned that. In beginning of our components also we discussed that point. So better always follow this mechanism. And can you have default? Yes, you can have default, right? You can configure as default, but if there are many functions, only one can be default in a module system. We will learn already. So initially, it is still not satisfied as a hook. Why? Because the hook responsibility is, suppose I am having let code is equal to a string, an empty string, and it must return the code. Now it is a hook. So what is the basic rule about hook? Hook must return some value. It must return a value or it must return a function, right? Okay. Now what is captcha? Captcha is nothing but I want a 6 characters random code to generate and display. Okay, you learned JavaScript. So in JavaScript, I will put code is equal to how to generate a random code. 6 character random code means I will use math dot round. So math dot random. So into 10. That's one simple logic I'm using. You know, in JavaScript, math.random will return a random number. And random numbers in JavaScript usually start with 0.07 fractions. Multiplying by 10 will just give a correct positive number. 1 to 10. It will return some perfect numbers. Okay. Now, any fractions came 1.1, 1.3, it will round and it will keep to the normal. Like this, how many digits? This is only one digit. Huh? So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. A 6-digit string. That all of them I made as a string. That means numbers and concatenated as a string. Okay. Now we are returning this code. That's simple. Now what we need to do? Let's go and use this hook in a login form. So we will go to the user login in to do login, and here we want to use the hook. Generally, how we use the hook, we have to import the hook. Import, what is it? Use captcha. Use captcha is from our hooks and captcha. And we need to use it because it returns a simple code. Let some code is equal to use captcha. It is going to return the code. And that code I will display in the login below the password. Below the password, some verify code. And here we will just put the code. And what it is going to do, it is going to generate one random code and show here. And this code will be changing every time. The code will be changing. Actually, I am refreshing. Right? You can put a button here. Reload code, regenerate code, some button. And when they click the button, code will recreate again. This is not captcha. We are not implementing any captcha. We are just having an idea of such situation. Because already we learned captcha is not code. It is a service with a lot of artificial intelligence programming added to it. We just created one for randomly generating, right? So we have a simple custom hook and I can use this anywhere. What is advantage of this? Reusability, extensibility, maintainability. If I change in the hook, it will affect everywhere. If you modify the hook, it will affect everywhere wherever you are using it, right? So reusability concerns, extensibility concerns, we can address by using these hooks. So wherever we want, everywhere you don't need to write a function like this. Already it is written, just inject. Now you may ask like, why to write like a hook? Why can't I write a JavaScript function and use it? Am I right? A JavaScript function also reusable na? Why to write like a hook? Why can't we write like a ordinary JavaScript function, export the function, import the function and use it? Why you are following all the rules of hooks? Without following the rules of hooks, you can create one JavaScript function. You can use that function which returns a code. What do you say? You got the same doubt? Huh? Why to create a hook if I can do the same without hook? I can create a function in a file. I can import that function and use the function. Then why to create like hook? Anyone got the same doubt? Huh? You got the same doubt? No? If you got the same doubt, Means you haven't understood yesterday's concept. Because yesterday what we discussed, why we cannot use the values and functions directly every time. No? Why we cannot use values and functions directly. Yesterday I explained a diagram now. Right? Why we cannot use values and functions directly. Why to use as a service only? Because values and functions, if you use directly, they follow a single call mechanism. Remember? I explained. Na? So what we discussed yesterday. Now you will come with a complaint. You haven't uploaded diagram. Huh? I uploaded diagram also. So if I don't upload the diagram, you will not remember. Huh? You need to remember this. We discussed now. Values and functions, they directly use which one? Single call mechanism. So what is single call? Single call, it allocates an object for every request. It creates an object for every request. Through that object, you can access the members. So if you use a service, internally service uses a singleton mechanism. Singleton mechanism means it includes only what is needed. Sorry, it creates an object only when it is requested. And that one object is used for all. Only one object is created, and through that object you can access any number of times. If you generally create a hook, means generally you create a ordinary function of JavaScript and import and use, it always works in a single call. Here if you ask, here where you are using singleton, we are not using any singleton. It automatically makes it as singleton when we just create it with the word use. When we just mention the prefix use, then it identifies that it is a hook, and automatically a singleton pattern is applied to that. That is the advantage of these services, right? So why we have to use a hook if we can use a function directly, right? The answer you know for that. So why to use a hook if the same can be achieved using functions? So normal function is always accessed using single call technique, using single call. So function, hook function is accessed using singleton, is accessed using singleton. So what is single call and singleton? So what are single call and singleton? Single call and singleton. So single call is a design. So it is a design pattern used to create an object for every request. Singleton is a pattern where object is created for first request and the same is used across requests. That is single call and singleton. Single call and singleton. Is everything new for you? You are guest, na? Chief guest. You are not regularly attending. Which batch you belong to? 50 batch. And not regularly attending. You have some busy business to do. Then how you will understand if you suddenly appear? You can't understand anything. Colors are good. Colors, projector, classroom, all are good. Huh? Everyone looking good. You just need to come to watch us. You can't understand anything, na? Right? After 1 month, you are coming to class. What you will understand? Nothing. Zero. Right? Waste of time. You better attend another new batch that already started. Okay. Morning 7:31 batch started. You better attend that batch because you can't understand anything after 1 month gap. What you will understand? Nothing. Yeah? You better leave this batch, right? And attend the morning batch. That is better. It's also started more than 2 weeks happened in that batch. Yeah, better. Otherwise, no use. So this is the purpose of single call and singleton mechanism. Right. Now, just I will give one example for this. Example. So let's create here. Okay. Uh, in which location? SRC. In SRC hooks, we have use captcha dot what JSX. So this is use captcha dot JSX. Let's put that here. And you can use in anywhere. Suppose I'm using in login dot JSX. You put anywhere you want. Roughly I'm using in to do login. Huh? In to do login, I am using it. But actually to do login contains lot of more logic. Just I'm we have to import and use it. Okay, fine. Now let's see little bit complex ones. How we can use means regularly used options. For example, what is our daily regular task in any component when we are building a project is, let's say you have to fetch data from API and you need to use it. And for that, every time axios dot get then, am I right? Every time you need to write such lengthy logic. So we can put a hook for that. That means what we will do here, I'm going to hooks and I'm adding a new file. Use fetch data dot what JSX. So export function. So use fetch data. This is our own hook. There is no such hook at all. And what this hook has to do is here we will define constant data set data is equal to use state. We are using a state, it is expecting an array. And what it should do is, according to the rules, it must return the data. It should return. Then it gets the behavior of hook. Okay. Now what we have to do? We have to use effect. That means even a hook can have a mount and unmount. Even a hook can be defined with mount phase, unmount phase. We'll see unmount also, but use effect is mounting. And here we are using this. And what to do? Axios. You can import Axios. Axios dot what? Get. Here it has to get from where? Now important. Use fetch data is expecting URL. And you have to fetch from that URL. Because you need to design the hook in such a way that it can get data from anywhere. That means we don't have any fixed URL. The URL will be changing. And whatever URL, what we have to do, then get the response and set data is equal to set data is what? Response dot what? Data. That's it. We need to configure this. That means we are fetching and using it. And remember, this mount should happen again whenever you are changing the URL. That means whenever I modify the URL, it should load the fresh data. Otherwise, it will load only the previous one. It will not update to the new. That means the dependency is what? Dependency is URL. So now you created one hook called fetch data, and this is expecting some URL. You pass it, it will return. Let's see how we can do. Roughly, I will give here. Let's go to this component is Homa. So anywhere, roughly, I will create one home component is there now. Yeah. In home component, we are using roughly use effect. Use effect is expecting to load some data. And earlier we need to write some logic here constant. I will use appointments is equal to how to get the appointments. Now we can use fetch data hook. Into that you pass the URL. What is it? HTTP localhost colon 3000 slash what? Appointments. Just you pass the URL. That means now actually these appointments are present. Temporarily I will use console.log and what is it? Appointments. I am just accessing appointments. No access, nothing. And you can see now, let's check the console. So in the console, so I refresh here. So the data, so it is empty. Why? Appointments, localhost. Let's check the URL. Use fetch data. Okay. We are fetching the data. Response.data. Okay. And it is returning the data also. Na? Fine. So there is no problem in this. Is our URL correct? What is this URL? So home. URL is fine. That API may be having some issue. So this is appointments. We are getting all these appointments and loading. On use effect means it is not at the time. Actually, we will put a local one because what is happening is this is at creation time. This is at what? Mounting time. We will put one option constant locally appointments is equal to, or I will just print it here. Just roughly will print it. Means somewhere I will print it. Huh? Under this register, we will print temporarily or login, we will print temporarily. So UL, we will get all the, what is it? Appointments dot what? Map appointment, and we will put a li. We will put here appointment dot title. Title we are using. We'll use a key appointment dot what ID. Roughly we will do that, and where it is in register a login. It is already coming now. You can see bottom data is coming. That means our API request fetching the data and accessing is working fine. Only the point is here we are accessing the data and using our hook. And what is that hook? Use fetch data. You don't need to write all the logic. Just you need to bring it and define. And we can present the data and use the data. Why it is previously returning null? Because we are accessing before it is generated. That's the reason it is returning what? Null. Because mount phase will work first. After that, hooks will execute. Right? All the hooks are going to execute. In that case, what will happen? It is empty array. I'm just presenting in the UI, then it will be fine. Now, wherever you want to fetch the data, you don't need to write Axios and all. Just you need a reference. Into that reference, you can store it. You have to just pass the URL. So people create for such reasons. So here one more important point about the hooks, custom hooks. What is it? Is generally, so every custom hook can have can have the phases like mount and unmount. So hook mount is loading, is executed while loading, and unmount while changing, while changing hook, say component actually, while changing hook. What is changing you will see. When unmount will happen, I will show you when we learn predefined hooks, built-in hooks. Right. So this is one concept of another custom hook. So this is in SRC, we are having what? So hooks, in hooks, we are having use fetch data dot JSX. I will just give this use fetch data dot JSX. That means it can have all your phases. This is use fetch data hook. It can have all your phases. Okay. How to implement this in any location? Some demo.jsx something. In that just one line I will give. So actually I'm giving in login home. Home. This one line we need to import the hook and we need to access. Anywhere you want to use it, you need to import and you need to configure. These 2 points I will give here. And how do you present? Below I will just give a concept. And here we are presenting. Just rough configuration about them. So this is the concept of another. Okay, now here some more changes are there. Means some more new points are there. So in our to-do application where you can use them. So we are designing a to-do application. In to-do application where they fit. So where we can use them. Of course, we can use for API because in so many components we need to fetch the data. So you can create for APIs. You can use CAPTCHA for verifying the code in login and register. Now another very major thing is people use in filtering and sorting. Filtering, sorting, searching, all such options are implemented. For example, I will show you, first I will show you normal example, then we will put in the project. Normal example is, if you remembered, we created a component called fake store. So we created one fake store component. I think here we designed a nav bar and all these things. Yeah. You see, I will keep this in the startup temporarily again. So here I will change to do index and I will use fake store. So this is fake store component and this is the fake store component ready. Now here there is a search option. When I am typing, I want suppose some woman, then it should get all woman related products. That means it should return all the products that contain the word woman. All the products that contain the word woman. Then how do you do that? How we can fetch? First, you should know JavaScript logic for that. If you know JavaScript logic of how do you search. So that means what we have to do now? We need to collect this word and verify in the titles in which title woman word is matching. And if it is matching, return only those cards. Means it should return only those details. Then how do we implement this? Now tell me in general JavaScript, how you will return only the details that matches your word. In JavaScript, what you will do? In JavaScript, you have a function called includes. JavaScript have a array includes function, string includes function. And what is this function purpose is? It will verify whether the title includes the word you have and returns only them. So we have to use this includes for searching everywhere. For filtering, searching, we have to check with the includes. Includes. For example, let's see here. First, here. So how do we handle them? That means how to use it. So first, the logic is basic logic here. Let's go to the fake store. Okay. Temporarily here, we will first collect the data coming from the search. That means we will have a constant, and in the constant, we will have a search string and set search string. We have a search string is equal to use state. It is empty. First, I will show you here. Then we will see how we can implement that. So we have a search string and a set search string, and it is empty. We have just empty search string. Okay. Now what we need to do is we need to collect the data function, handle, search, change. Okay. So we need to collect the value they are entering in the text box. This we will collect from the text box. Here, where is the search text box? This is the search text box. Here we will put on change, handle search change. On search change, we are collecting it. Okay. That means now the value is collected here. And we need to find out, is that value available in the result? That means I am just using a simple variable called search results is equal to how to get only the products that have the title, that have the word that you typed in their title, and return only them. First, we will implement that. That means in search results, we need to get the same. You don't need substring now because I am directly writing the logic with E. We will collect directly with E, event argument, that you need when you want on button click. I will directly do while searching. Okay. Now how to return the products that are matching your condition? Then what you have to do? Actually, I'm expecting search results as an array. Am I right? First, how do you get all the products? That means we have to use what? Axios dot get. Get which one? HTTPS colon double slash, what is it? Fake store. So, or already products are loaded in products now, right? What you, because already they are loaded. So then we can directly apply here. How we can apply? What is it? Products dot what? Filter. Filter na? Find will return only the first occurrence. Filter will return all. Okay. Filter every product and check what is it? What I need to check here? Product dot title. Product titles that comes from the database may be in different case. We will convert dot to lowercase. Understood? Huh? We will convert into two lowercase. That means what we are doing, we are reading every product title, convert to lowercase, and so we have to convert to lowercase and we have to include. Understood? Huh? Includes. It is a string. String have a includes. Into the includes what you are expecting. E dot target dot what value dot what to lowercase. That means your value is also converted to lowercase. Understood? Huh? That means now what it is going to do? It is going to get all the products, all the products, and display the products that are matching with the title that you typed in the search box. And these search results we want to display. Just temporarily, I will use console.log. What is it? Search results I'm using. This is how generally we filter the data. In any table, to filter the data, we need to first collect our information, and we need to verify in their columns that string matching or not. And if matching, return only those products. So that we do by using this result. Now let's try this. Here we will go to the console here. So we are going to the console, inspect in the console, and we are typing something here. What I am typing here is I am typing suppose MEN. That means men. So fashion. So suppose I am searching like fashion. That means fashion related. How many are there? Acha, fashion not there. We have some laptop. You can see laptop related how many are there. It is going to return them. Only one is finding with laptop. Am I right? It is verifying. It is verifying on every change. Means every character it will verify. You better do it on button click. I am just writing. That's the reason they are changing. That means I am verifying here. I'm verifying the word gold. And you can see gold related four are there. These four are matching with gold. Am I right? They have the word gold. That's how generally we filter the data. By any field, we can filter the data using this condition. Now, what should happen is it should display only those products already it is getting. Earlier, what we are doing, we are showing all. Now, the filter products we need to show here. The filtered products only we need to pass that. That means actually here. So, what is the point here is you are searching, such results are coming. Now, the new results we will set into what? Products. Into the products, we will pass the search results. Understood? Or actually, we can use directly such results. Such results are passed into products. That means now what it is going to do here. I will refresh. I am searching for here gold. Only gold will come. It is going to display only those. This is general how we do search in JavaScript. It's not React. It's just JavaScript logic. We have to do in a React way. That means we need to use in a React way. So that's how it is going to search and it is going to display. And when it is empty, it should show all. Then of course you need another condition also, right? What is the condition you will write here? So this filtering of products and displaying should happen when there is some data. If not, then it should display all, right? Then of course, you can write a if condition, right? So what is that if condition? If e dot target dot value is empty, then load all products. Otherwise, load only such results. We can do anything. That means actually, you see here, means properly we should write, roughly I'm giving. If, what is it? E dot target dot value dot length is equal to 0. Am I right? It's not having anything. Then what we will do is set products. Into that, I will copy these products. This is the new modern technique of doing. That means this is a spread operator. That means it spreads the values of products into that. Otherwise, what we need to do, set products, what we have to pass, search results. We need to pass the search results into that, right? So that means it depends on how you are configuring here. So it gets, suppose I entered, suppose men. So it is going to give men, and I remove some problem is because here it is still not done. Why? Because just only logic I given, because the same thing you have to do in the use effect also we need to change. So much work is there because loading all products is done by using a function. What is that function it is doing? So here, what is the function it is doing? It is using, suppose we can call again, what is it? Load. Because we written a separate function, we need to pass into it. Which one we need to define all? HTTP colon double slash, what is it? So it is fake store. This example doesn't fit for that. We haven't fit for that. We need to do a lot of changes in this. Just I'm explaining a basic logic. You can write inside here also. That means what we will do, set products. We are giving what? Search results. Actually, we can put condition here also. That means what it is going to do, it will filter and display the products only if there is some value. If it is defined and it is present. If it is undefined, then don't. I will implement now. We will implement in to-do application. Now, what is our concept? Design this as a hook. That means this logic is required everywhere now. If this logic is required everywhere, then you create it like a hook. I just give rough point. Now tell me how to design a hook. For this, you tell me how to create a hook. I need to create a hook which can filter the products and display. Let's see. Tell me how to create a hook for this. We will go to hooks and I will put here. What is it? Use search products dot what? JSX. How do we configure export function use search products? Use search products. It's a hook. Now tell me, it does it needs any parameter? Yes, it needs a parameter that is search string. Na? Am I right? Now what we should do? Not just search string. Where we should search? Where we should search? Not just search string. Where we should search inside the data. Na? That means you need to pass the data also. Understood? That means in that data we need to search. So you need to pass data also. You need to pass the data and pass the search string. Okay. Now tell me what to do. In this data, we need to verify is that search string available or not. So we are verifying inside the data. So how do we write the logic? Same. What we have to do, we have a constant. So we will have some constant fine. We have, what is it? Search results. Na? Search results is equal to, in data, we need to what? Filter. Filter. And we read, what is it? Product, or we can read here every item. Every item. And what we have to do? For every item, we need to return. So what is the condition? If item dot item dot title dot what? To lowercase. To lowercase dot what? Includes. Includes which one? includes such string dot what to lowercase. If it includes, then it will return all of that. That means it is going to return this. Now what we have to do is this search products have to return the search results. Na? It should return the search results. It should return the search results. But in real time, this is not satisfying. Why this is not satisfying? Because for example, I given searching and returning the search results. Suppose I will do one thing. Means why it is not good? Because whenever I make change in the search, it should update na. Whenever such string is modified, it should refresh again. But this will not refresh. It will load only once na. It will not refresh again. Generally, to refresh again, what we should do? So, for example, what I am doing here, I am declaring a var because const is a block scope na. So we will use effect at the mounting phase. What we need to do? We need to do all this work. I can do all this work na. I can do all this work. Okay, searching and showing the results. Am I right? And what we have to do at the time of performing all these functions, this we will keep globally. Huh? So this is what search what results, and we will have a variable or let. What is it? Search results, and it is expecting an array na. Okay, now what is the condition? It is what? Search string. Dependency is search string na. Whenever search string changes, it will load again. But in modern React, we don't recommend this also. Why we don't recommend this is, I will tell you. Because we haven't learned other technique, so we are using it. Now, why we don't recommend this technique, we'll see that. First point, see, this hook is ready. Where to use this hook now? We have to use this hook. Here we will go to the fetch fake store. We'll go to the fake store. Here we need to use that hook. So on search change, we need to access the data and use the data here. So what is the condition? First, we need to configure the hook. What is it? Constant. What is it? So we are having the reference which can contain the data. Suppose I will give results is equal to, what is the hook name? Use search products. That is the name. And see what it is expecting. It is expecting data. It is expecting data. And what is the data? Data is what? Products. It is expecting the data and it is expecting such string. Such string will come from here now. So what we will do, we will put a constant str, set str temporarily. Use state, it is empty. What we need to do here, we need to configure set str is what? E dot target dot value, and that we have to pass here. So we have to pass that str. Am I right? That means now this results will contain all the data. Results contain all the data. That filtered data will be returned. You see products and the filtered data will be returned here. Now what we should do? We should just use this data now. Whatever data comes through filter, we have to use. When to use it? So we have to use when it is changing now, right? For example, we are using set products. Into that, we will use what? Results. That means it is fetching the results and it is returning the results. Still, it is, as I told you, it's not good. Why it is not good? Because the problem in this approach is you are writing use effect and you are fetching the data. If any value is changed, it will filter the new data and display. Filtering new data, displaying the data across multiple requests using use effect will cause lot of re-render. That means it is going to render your component every time for every change in your search string. That is very heavy on application and it's not good. It will lead to failure. That means this you written correctly, your conditions and everything are correct. So why it is not showing any data? Because currently conditions, you written the condition correctly, but you can see it is saying two lowercase of null because currently the products we are applying it is empty now, right? So the products we are applying it is empty. We need to remove them. So here also I will remove them. Your approach is correct, but it's not good for application. It is not good for application. Then what is the correct approach for the application? Correct approach for application is in this with the solution we will see. Go to the use such products. This is not good. Why this is not good? Logic is correct. Why it is not good? Because use effect is going to re-render every time. Whenever a change happened inside the search string, it will render entire component again. It's heavy. For this purpose, we have a new concept in React. To achieve such problems, we have some built-in hooks. And what is the built-in hook we recommend is, we recommend to use memo and we recommend to use callback. These are the important hooks. They are good for accessing the data which is required again and again within a fraction of time. They are just like caching. That means what these do, they will cache the data and put it in memory for some duration. Within the duration you are requesting again, it will get from the cache. It will save round trips and it will avoid re-render. It will improve the performance. Now, these comes under which category? Built-in hooks. So we will achieve this with the built-in hooks now. Let's see the built-in hooks. What are the built-in hooks available? So search we can design completely perfectly for our to-do application by using some additional point. What are those? Let's see. So custom hooks, you have seen how to handle them. Now you need to learn the built-in hooks, how they are used. So React have built-in hooks. So what are the React built-in hooks and how to use them? That we'll see tomorrow, right? In tomorrow's session, we will learn all built-in hooks with example now. Use effect, use state, everything we will learn step by step, one by one. And we will implement them in our to-do application. So this is the major part in React latest. What's new and what is good for production using hooks. We will put with functionality in our project. Then you will get clarity. Tomorrow we'll continue. Okay. Right. . Yes, Brahma Reddy, what is your doubt? Yes,
Good
what
evening,
is your doubt?
sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, Brahma Reddy.
Sir, in my project there is a Next.js, sir, to integrate APIs and all.
You have to learn it.
That is different, or that is
Different framework, na? You
uh,
know, in your project, Next.js is there means you know that Next.js is a server-side framework.
yes, sir, yes, sir. That is the new
It is a
requirement in
server-side
new project.
framework. Here we will learn an introduction about it.
Okay, sir.
You
Sure.
have to learn server-side framework separately, na?
Okay, sir. Okay,
Right?
sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, Swati.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Sir, are you going to start, like the Naresh IT is going to start any course regarding Next.js or Angular, sir?
Next.js, after this batch completed, we will check feedback from people who are interested in that because very few people are attending this Next.js batch. That's the reason we are not scheduling it. So by the end of this class, we will try to schedule one separate Next.js batch.
Sir, it includes only Next.js or any combination, sir?
So
It is very
Remix,
big.
Next.js, you need React Native also detailedly.
Okay. So React Native and Next.js both will be covered, sir.
Both.
Okay.
Here we
Sir,
will see only introduction here.
okay.
Okay, because here we can't spend complete time on again mobile development. React Native is mobile, huh?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Uh,
No.
because everybody will not use again the same. Some use Flutter, some use Ionic like frameworks.
Okay.
That's the reason problem is if we start any React Next.js, many people are not into it because they use some other server side frameworks. They don't use Next.js.
Okay.
Even their project is React, they don't use Next.js as server side framework. They go with others. That's the reason.
Okay.
Anyhow, we will because many are asking for that. We will check once. So we will try to start one Next.js separate batch also. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
And sir, another thing, will you be taking Angular class, sir?
No,
In
I am not currently taking any Angular batch. Earlier I used to, but now I am not taking any Angular.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh,
Yeah, thank you, sir.
yeah. Yeah. See the notes. Open the notes and see once.